we've been talking about the DSA a lot lately on the Vanguard, discussing the recent victories around the country and endorsed candidates, talking to some of those candidates for city council and stuff like that. And I noticed that on Twitter, it says you're a member of the Democratic Socialists of America, as well as the Bread and Roses DSA. And for those who aren't aware, could you just maybe talk a little bit about the Bread and Roses DSA and what differentiates it? We talked to the Jerome Siegel of the Bread and Roses Party, presidential candidate. Is that like the same, party? Is that a similar organization?
No, it's just, it's just it's a common phrase. So there's different, people. Okay. So Bread and Roses. Well, I mean, so for folks who don't know, I presume a lot of your listeners already know about DSA, but DSA is a multi-tendency, big tent socialist organization. So you really have people across the board. You have folks who are probably in some ways kind of anarchists, all the way to people who really are oriented towards, first and foremost, kind of like working within the Democratic Party and transforming it in more of like an electoral type way. Bread and Roses is a current I'm part of. It's a caucus. There's a lot of different caucuses, and our main home is DSA, but within that, there's a lot of different strategies for how do we build power, how do we win, what is the relationship between electoral politics and labor politics. So Bread and Roses is a Marxist caucus within DSA. We do a lot of focus on both electoral work and labor organizing. I think that's probably like our two bread and butter type of focuses. I think one of the things I really am excited about is the work that we do trying to transform the labor movement, but also more recently, a lot of our comrades have played a big role in helping elect different socialists in New York and across the country. And I think our strategic horizon is trying to build a party for the working class using right now the Democratic Party ballot line, but keeping our eye on really what our vision is that, workers, we need our own party. And we're only going to get there if we can, maintain our political independence and, revitalize and expand the labor movement. And it's the combination of those two things that I think is going to be how you build working class power in the short term and long term.
Would you say that differentiates the Bread and Roses DSA from like the regular DSA, want to work from outside of the Democratic Party and build a new party, like you said?
Well, I mean, I think that like the vision of a party is a long-term vision. Most of our work right now, we've learned that you can have more success in talking about working class issues and building up independent working class organization like DSA by using the Democratic Party ballot line. So we're not, I don't think it makes sense right now to like try to found a new party right now. Our orientation really is towards trying to use the Democratic Party ballot line in an antagonistic way towards the Democratic Party establishment, so that our folks aren't just kind of like getting subsumed into Democratic Party politics as usual, but really having like an independent socialist working class profile and organization, so that working people, see something different. Because, the reality is the Democratic Party for a lot of people across the country is toxic. And at best, people who vote Democrats most of the time is just because the Republicans really are way worse. And so if we're going to provide something like a real alternative, we need to have folks who are not taking corporate money, who are trying to use electoral office to help build up the labor movement and other social movements, and not sort of just take its money or make like rhetorical gestures. So yeah, I think it's that combination of actually working within like the Democratic Party ballot line, but with the goal of trying to build our party is a different approach than some other tendencies.